best way to predict the future is to create it. Time is precious, time is money, and this is the time for Money Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is the network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economic sector of society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial and economic activities from all strata of society. Its deliveries are concentrated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with expert opinions, stakeholders analyses, and correspondence reports. First, a look at the headlines on digital youth with ICT skills. Tinubu approves 1 trillion initiative to strengthen PACs. We will continue to support local businesses. Shetima. Senate plans review as customs ASU fault provisions. Africa needs partnerships, not loans. Lokbo Biri. Belgium fears losing 40% petrol exports to Nigeria. Don't forget, we are open for advert placement, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our Atn socials on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1 on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, or you can watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We take a short break, and when we return, we head straight into our stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Delta State government has reaffirmed its commitment to empowering the youths with quality digital skills and opportunities needed to excel in information communication technology (ICT). The Commissioner for State and Science and Technology, DGA, who gave the assurance at the launch of the ICT Youth Empowerment Program held in Asaba, the state capital, said, "We recognize that our greatest asset is our youth, and by investing in the ICT skills, we are investing in their future." Odige remarked that the future is digital, hence we will ensure that our youths are not left behind but are leading the way in the world of technology. In the world driven by technology, digital literacy is no longer optional, it is essential. Through these initiatives, the government aims to mentor, orient, resource, and empower the youth to ensure they have access to quality ICT training, entrepreneurship opportunities, and digital skills that will prepare them for the jobs of tomorrow and the innovations of tomorrow. The Commissioner disclosed that no fewer than 300 Delta youths were selected for the ICT training to acquire the essential knowledge of digital technology to enable them to scale the labor market and be self-employed. According to him, after the training, the participating youths drawn from the 25 local government areas of the state would be equipped with entrepreneurship. He remarks that the training program is a significant milestone in the state's digital transformation, being a government initiative dedicated to equipping our youth with the digital skills and opportunities they need to thrive not only in Nigeria but globally. Odige, who emphasized the importance of the program, tasked all the beneficiaries to take full advantage of the technology training and to transform themselves. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved a 1 trillion naira, which is $1.2 billion performance-based financing initiative for state governments to strengthen primary health care PHC systems by recruiting health workers and improving services. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Muhammad Pate, disclosed this at the 2025 first quarter review meeting of the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on PHC delivery in Abuja. He said the initiative, along with year-on-year increases in health budget allocations, underscores the government's commitment to improving Nigeria's healthcare system. He noted that the federal government has intensified its commitment to strengthening primary health care by training over 60,000 health workers, expanding PAC revitalization efforts across states, and enhancing maternal and newborn health services. Pate observed that the maternal and newborn mortality reduction initiative under Mr. President's Renewed Hope agenda focuses on reducing maternal deaths, providing free emergency treatment for obstetric complications, and eliminating financial barriers for women, especially in rural areas. The minister stressed the need to encourage breastfeeding, maternal care, and early childhood nutrition, ensuring that our children grow healthy and strong. Party noted that the recent detection of circulating variant polio virus type 2 remains a major challenge. These are not new challenges. We have successfully addressed similar issues in the past. I recall that in 2009, despite resource constraints, Nigeria vaccinated more children than in previous years, proving that with strong leadership, commitment, and community engagement, we can overcome obstacles, he said. The minister stated that the traditional lenders' leaderships, advocacy, and grassroots mobilization have been instrumental in advancing and sustaining the collective efforts to protect the health and well-being of our communities. He applauded their commitment to strengthen PAC alongside addressing other pressing issues affecting the population, adding that the NTLC remains one of the longest-lasting volunteer-driven initiatives anywhere in the world, having operated consistently for 16 years without interruption. On the National Health Fellowship Program, party disclosed that over 360,000 applications were received as fellows were selected on merit, adding that the government is set to deploy them to improve accountability and health service delivery. The minister urged traditional and religious leaders to support these young fellows as they work within their communities. Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured Nigerian businesses of the federal government's continued support for their operations. He spoke when he visited the state-of-the-art smart card manufacturing plant of Secure ID Limited in Lagos. The VP celebrated the company's remarkable contributions to the country's manufacturing and digital solutions ecosystem. The Vice President, who toured the facility, hailed Secure ID's cutting-edge production processes and its commitments to quality and innovation. He commended the company's resilience and success, noting that it exemplifies the kind of homegrown businesses that can transform Nigeria's economy. The government is committed to fostering an enabling environment for businesses like Secure ID to thrive. Through targeted policies and interventions, we are repositioning Nigeria's economy to support local innovation, boost foreign exchange earnings, and create employment opportunities. This edifice embodies the promise of what our nation can achieve when our innovative minds are given the support to compete with the rest of the world. Secure ID is proof that when there is a will, there is always a way. This administration will continue to foster an environment where innovation thrives, ensuring that every citizen has the opportunity to succeed, he said. The founder of Secure ID, Kofo Akinkube, expressed gratitude for the Vice President's visit and reaffirmed the company's commitment to expanding its operations, creating jobs, and putting Africa on the global stage. We are proud of what we have achieved so far, but this is just the beginning. With the support of the government, we are ready to scale our operations, increase our export potential, and contribute even more to Nigeria's economic growth, she said. She reiterated the company's commitment to building a global brand while maintaining its Nigerian identity. Academic Staff Union of Universities on Tuesday warned against the proposed withdrawal of the education tax to the Tertiary Education Trust Fund as contained in the tax reform bill currently undergoing public hearing at the National Assembly. The president of the union, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, said the scrapping of that fund could lead to the collapse of tertiary education in the country. He stated these while delivering a memorandum on the tax reform bills during his appearance at a public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Finance. According to him, ASU is against the proposed abrogation of education tax, saying it possesses serious threats to the survival of that fund and urged the National Assembly to protect the fund. From any objective assessment, that fund has been the backbone for infrastructural development, postgraduate training, and research capacity building in Nigeria's public tertiary institutions in the last 1.5 decades. Over 90% of capital projects in state and federal colleges of education, polytechnics, and universities during this period were TET fund sponsored. The intervention agency has also remained the primary source of higher degree training for young academics and support staff since 2011, when the act establishing this education tax fund was reoriented to its original intendment of an intervention agency for the development of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. ASU is seriously worried that the education tax, called development levy, used to bankroll TET funds programs, is about to be ceded to the newly established Nigerian Education Loan Fund, he said. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Olokpobiri, has stated that Africa does not need loans but rather strategic partnerships and investments to address energy poverty and drive economic growth on the continent. Probably made this statement on Tuesday in Abuja at the 8th edition of the Nigeria International Energy Summit, themed Bridging Continents, Connecting Investors Worldwide with Africa's Energy Potential. The minister said that the strategic policies by President Bola Tinubu's administration had proven Nigeria's readiness and commitment to business. In January at Davos, I was in the panel with 8 other ministers of different parts of the world, and one of the ministers said that Europe has about 300 billion euros available for loans to Africa. I suggested to them that we don't need loans, rather we need investments, we need partnerships, invest and then make your returns instead of giving us loans. I can assure you that the world is ready to invest in Africa. The world has recognized that Africa has enormous resources, but these resources have no value unless we are able to bring them to the market, Lukobiri said. The minister said that the current administration had changed the entire energy landscape in Nigeria, making the country an investment destination for new investors and those who had earlier made plans of divestment. According to him, Nigeria has shown readiness for business, and that is why 4 major divestments that were pending before have been completed. He said Nigeria had developed or grown enormous local capacity, enabling indigenous companies to acquire assets with the capacity to run these companies profitably. Nigeria has nothing to lose. No international oil company, IOC, is leaving Nigeria. All the IOCs cannot find a better location than Nigeria for business. They told me that Nigeria is still the best destination, and they are firm in their commitment to say they are not leaving Nigeria. At the worst, they are leaving for deep offshore, which is beyond the capacity of Independent Petroleum Producers Group, IPPG members, he said. Belgium has raised concerns over the potential loss of a significant portion of its petroleum products exports to Nigeria as President Bola Tinubu yesterday in Abuja intensified efforts to attract energy investors and expand domestic refining capacity. This comes as stakeholders at the 8th Nigeria International Energy Summit (NIES) in Abuja accused the governments of developed nations of frustrating oil and gas investments in Nigeria and other African countries, stressing that Africans must look inward or risk stranded oil and gas reserves. Tinubu, who was represented by the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, said tax reforms in the oil sector as well as streamlining of regulatory and executive action pushed investment into Nigeria and moved oil production to about 1.8 million barrels per day. Asking investors to look in the way of oil exploration, critical minerals, hydrogen, power generation, domestic gas utilization, and oil refining. Tinubu said Presidential Executive Order on Oil and Gas Sector Reforms streamlined processes, fast-tracked